I want you to think about this idea about you as a disruptive leader. It's a new concept. It's probably foreign to many of you. What's that one thing that you can change to make you more effective? What is it that's holding you back from taking the next step? And when we talk about this disruption, I want you to think about it internally, looking inside you as a leader, and then externally within your company. Because our faculty is going to argue this month that traditional approaches to leadership in a VUCA world may not be adequate. Just like those traditional methods of managing a technology are not adequate with disruptive tech, neither are the traditional approaches to leadership in a disrupted world. And so what does that mean? Well, it means first that you need to think about your role differently. I know you may have been somebody that's always walked into the team strutting around like a proud peacock because you have all the answers. You let them struggle a little bit so you can swoop in and save the day. That's a short-term fix. And guess what? Doing that may feel good in the moment. It may boost your ego, but it doesn't give you the time to do what? Get off the dance floor and get up to the balcony. And more importantly, it doesn't allow your team to truly learn. So consider rethinking your role to lead with questions rather than answers. A lot of good can come from this style. You encourage others to speak first and challenge ideas, fostering a more inclusive and critical dialogue. You increase your organizational voice. This shift from the I'm the boss, command and control style to a more participatory leadership style is going to be welcomed by a lot of people on your team. And I think it's critically important in the ever-evolving, ever-changing construction industry to reflect on your leadership role and consider the need for self-disruption. This doesn't necessarily mean a complete overhaul, but maybe small but significant changes. Understand kind of where you are in your leadership journey and just be open to new approaches that might better serve your team and the industry as a whole. Embrace this concept of disruption relative to your current position. And every one of you is in a different spot within your organizations. And be prepared to lead differently to stay relevant and effective in this VUCA disrupted world. And I would argue, even if you feel relatively comfortable right now in this world, in this post-pandemic world that we've talked about, I think it requires now more than ever to be a disruptive leader. And there's some research out there to support it. And I sent this article out to one of our participants. But as you look at new research from Gallup, it's clear that the pandemic was this like demarcation point for leadership and for company structure. The bad news is in this article, they uncover some significant challenges with the workforce in this post-pandemic world. And this is one of the most powerful quotes from the entire research that I found. The fallout is real, and you see it here in yellow. The real fallout will come when the storm of declining employee engagement hits the customer. When that poor performance impacts you and your customer, that's when the rubber meets the road, right? And so I'll argue that it's going to take a disruptive leader to sort through what all this means. What does it mean when engagement suffers, yet you learned early on how important engagement is to drive successful outcomes? When the world around you is screaming about hybrid workplaces and quiet quitting and great resignations, and many of you are still sorting through all those challenges as we speak. But it takes a different style of leader to handle such disruption. It requires new tools in the toolbox, you could say.